Pixel People Quick Bite. A little 80s talk, well alright. A full episode, well not quite. Welcome to the Pixel People Quick Bite.
Hey people, welcome to the Pixel People Quick Bite. It's a new thing we're trying. It's not a full show, it's a quick bite. So here we are. Let's get to the topic. I was thinking about cool memories of food memories or something like family stuff in the 80s. And I thought of one that really stuck in my head, and Jan thought of one. And so we've talked about it, and we're going to do this now. So we'll throw one to Jan first. Jan, tell us one of your favorite food memories of the 80s.
I can remember my parents maybe every other month. One of them would stop by this restaurant in Cherville called Family Carryout.
Cherville?
Cherville.
That's a horrible
Cherville.
name for a restaurant.
What's it called?
Family Carryout. And I need to look and see if it's still there.
Yeah.
But they would have a special, like 6 hot dogs for $1. And they would come in with 2 white paper bags full of 12 hot dogs. And it was like Christmas morning when they walked in with those paper bags with 12 hot dogs.
It's like in Lincolnton, which is near Cherville. They have a place called City Lunch. You can get a hot dog for like $1.25, and we used to go get tons of those.
If you walked in with a bag of 6 hot dogs right now, it'd be the best day of the week right now.
I'd eat 3 or 4 of those easy.
I love me a good hot dog.
Especially those hot dogs from places like that. It's not like the ones I make at my house.
Yeah.
I've
tried. The chili and I've got pretty
and
good chili
And it all gels
recipe,
together.
I do too, but I think the good chili we put on is not as good as what you get just for however they make one. If you get a hot dog in a place like this, it's wrapped perfectly. You get it, and the onions and the chili and slaw are perfect on it. And when I make it, it's too full.
Yeah, I will tell you the ground beef they use in that chili is not as quality as what they usually use for the burger itself. Right. It's usually like 73-27 versus 80-20.
But it's so good though.
Oh, I've said this multiple times. If I was on death row and they said, Chris, you get your last meal, 2 hot dogs all the way. That's my last meal. Perfect. Yeah. Were they red hot dogs or not? Do you remember that part?
Oh, I don't remember that part.
She loves the red hot dogs, so it probably was.
I don't think they were the red hot dogs, though.
I've got a friend, that's all she'll eat is the red hot dogs.
That's not all Jen will eat, but that's her favorite of the cheap red hot dogs.
You're confusing me with your first wife.
You like the cheaper hot dogs, though, don't you?
But not red ones.
Oh, okay. Mm-mm. Okay.
You don't like, what are they, James?
I mean, I'll eat them, but...
What are they called, James?
James, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Jamestown?
What's the one you get, Jen? The ones that you get, the name brand? Bar S?
Bar S.
Oh, yeah.
Now, me...
I love turkey hot dogs, too.
You give me some Nathan's or some Hebrew National, oh, that's good stuff.
I don't like Nathan's, like sometimes they're just too big. I just like a great bun-length hot dog.
Yeah.
Bright Leaf. Have you ever had Bright Leaf?
No.
Oh, that's
That's the red hot dog. That's the cheapo hot dog.
Yeah.
That reminds me of Red Hots. Have you ever had a Red Hot?
I have.
Yeah.
My dad loves those.
Yeah, her dad loves the Red Hots.
That's what he asked for Christmas and his birthday. A pack of Red Hots.
Nice.
I keep wanting to run. It's about a 10-minute drive from my work. But Circus Hall of Cream, I keep wanting to go up there and get a foot long from there.
Yeah.
I haven't had
can
that.
We please go?
Yes, let's go sometime and eat up there. I hadn't ate there in 20-something years.
Chris, you meeting us there?
I would go to Circus Hall of Cream. They got the good milkshakes and the foot long hot dogs.
Go up there then, so maybe next Friday.
We'll do a podcast from there.
We'll do a live. We're going to start doing on live remotes.
So my story is Ben Oak School, which is about 7-8 miles from my house. Right up above it was a small little restaurant when I was a kid, run by a classmate friend of mine, Liza's. Her dad is Ben Oak Fish Fry. Now we would eat fish out of the fish camp, but Ben Oak Fish Fry, it was mostly takeout. They had like 2 tables you could sit at. That was it. But that was like, I don't know, once a month, once every other month. Dad would go, I'd go with him, and we'd go and pick up food. We called in at Ben Oak Fish Fry, bring it back. And I can remember that was a time where we rarely sat in the living room and ate. It was always at a kitchen table, But those on a Saturday night, I think it's usually when Dad has worked all day and Mom worked and we didn't want to cook. She called that in and we'd sit in the living room and Mom and Dad would be sitting on the couch, and Scotty and me would be sitting on the floor eating our fish, watching Hee Haw on Saturday night. That was the greatest. I wish I could go back and relive one of those core memories like that just one time. Everything was right in the world then.
If I'm not mistaken, was Hee Haw and Lawrence Welk on the same night?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
Because my grandparents used to watch it, and we used to watch Lawrence Welk and Hee Haw, and they had the bubbles coming up with Lawrence Welk, and then you have them in there. I always thought it was so funny on Hee Haw when they were in the cornfield and they were doing the jokes back and forth, but
BR549.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
but we'd
make
be
it
eating
today,
our
but-
fish and
Yeah.
and
What kind of
washing
fish
it,
did you get?
I was a flounder back then or shrimp. Just
No,
same
little
old-
baby
same
shrimp,
stuff I get
little
now.
calabash shrimp, yeah.
All right, Chris, what's one of yours you got?
See, it's hard to beat a hot dog. I mean, but and then fish fries. But what I remember for me was on Sundays. So when I grew up in Hickory, we went to church in Lincoln because that's where my dad went to church. That's where his family went to church. So we went there. So it was a 30-minute drive to church one way every Sunday. We did it twice on Sunday, Wednesday, every week. But we'd go to my grandparents' house, my grandma's house, on some Sunday mornings before, usually pretty much every Sunday morning, but some of them. And we'd walk in, and she would be frying up liver mush and scrambled eggs and grits. And we would sit there and have like breakfast as a family before we went to church. And listen, my grandma was the greatest woman I'd ever known in my life. I loved her, but she couldn't cook worth anything.
Aw.
It was terrible. But I knew that as I got older, it got worse. But when I was a kid, it was just walking in and there was a grandma, my grandpa was in there, and they were making this stuff, and it'd be liver mush and fried eggs and scrambled eggs, whatever, and bacon. I mean,
Those are
everything.
things you can't mess up.
And
though.
biscuits and stuff. And it was just like, and canned biscuits, she didn't make them from scratch. But I remember I'd go get a cup, and she was one of those old school people. Like, she'd have a stack of styrofoam cups that she reused. She'd wash and reuse them.
Yeah.
And
A woman after my own heart.
and we would use, that's what we would do for food. And that was a core memory for me because I walked in, I had my mom and dad there, my grandparents there. So, I mean, it was like, what more in the world could you ever want than that right there? And then I would go stay the afternoon with my grandparents and then go back to church on Sunday night and go home. So I'd spend all day with my grandparents. And that was, to me, was just the greatest thing ever. But that's, for me.
To your parents, it was probably the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, they loved it. The fact they didn't have to deal with me in the afternoon.
Yeah. Jan, you got another one?
Well, I mean, he touched on, I do have another one, but him touching on the family meals. Family meals have always been a huge part of my life. Even like the Christmas get-togethers with, family and the Thanksgiving get-togethers. I can always remember being excited about those meals.
Yeah.
Those huge meals where all your cousins are going to be there. And
Yeah.
those were the best.
The South, where we're from, the whole mentality is food brings people together.
Right.
I mean, that unites people. That makes the world a better place. If you sit down, you could be, like, I know you voted for Kamala Harris, so I mean, I know that's, and I didn't, so, but we're sitting across the table. No, just all joking aside, you could be that way, and we could sit down to eat a meal together. That food unites people, and that's what food does. I mean, that's why so many people talk about food and such reverence with everything.
And Greg and I are blessed in that we still every Sunday have
2 meals.
lunch with his parents and supper with my parents.
That's why you told me
And
you only
families.
had time frame from 1 to 4 for me. I
Yeah,
get
on
it.
Sundays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sundays is a busy day.
But I love the fact that we still have those family meals together. I hope that never ends.
Yeah. One day they'll be here, I hope.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But my other memory, getting back to that, was, okay, think of Little House on the Prairie days.
Unfortunately, I am.
We used to have, and I can't remember what we called it, but we used to have like Little House on the Prairie Day at church when I was growing up. And the kids would show up in clothing that looked like
I hope they
clothes
had
from
clothes on.
Little House on the Prairie. And people would show up in horse and wagon and come, and we would have this huge meal after church. It was the greatest thing because I would get to dress up.
But I thought you were poor. You had a horse?
We didn't. No, we went in the car. No.
Oh, you had a car?
We did have a car.
Loud.
But yeah, some members of the church would show up in horse and buggy.
Yeah, it's called Old Timers Day
Yeah,
or something
like
like
Old
that.
Senior
Timers Day.
Citizens Day, like that, we're dressed
Yeah.
up like a...
But I just remember how magical that was. And then the meal,
The big,
like they had a big galvanized, huge bucket out there full of lemonade.
Are you talking about at the church thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was great because it was a potluck. Everybody brought
and
different
it's
stuff.
funny
Yeah.
because I remember that as a kid, and you'd like, I got like 7 different types of deviled eggs to choose from. And always you would have, as a Baptist, there'd be 1 or 2 people that went and bought the KFC and brought it. And you're like, I got to get front in line and get some KFC, buddy. And now it's like, I'm such an adult, I'm so paranoid about stuff. It's like, if I didn't fix that food, I'm not eating it.
Don't take me to a potluck now.
COVID has killed
you
the
can
church
take me to a
meals, man.
potluck every day of the week. I'm
Yeah.
good with that,
Yeah.
dude.
And I remember, throw mine out here, I can remember my dad in the late 80s, early 90s. It was not often. It might be twice a year. But there'll be, coming from school and be doing stuff. And Dad, he worked in Lenore. And he would come rolling in. And, this was the day that he had stopped and got Little Caesars pizza.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the pizza.
Two
Square pizzas in a box. Probably $5 back then.
Yeah,
for
it was buy one, get one free, basically.
Yeah, and there was 2 in a box, and you get, this is the greatest thing in the world. It's not Little Caesars as much as I still like it now, and it's the best bang for your buck going. But it's not. It's a different type of pizza. But just for once, I wish they bring back the pizza 2 in a box like that.
And the Little Caesars back then was inside a Kmart, probably.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they were. Yeah.
I don't think they were standalone stores back then.
Not all of them. No, not a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I was like, we got pizza, Little Caesars. I get me 3 or 4 pieces of that square pizza right there. Probably why I'm a big fat loaf right now. But Chris, you got any more?
I do. I was just thinking about thinking about my childhood, and like me and my son talked about this the other day because when we went to D.C. I was like, let's look and see if there's one of these restaurants on the way because I know I've seen it on one of my trips somewhere. We used to go to this place. My son said there's some in Pigeon Forge, I think he said, but Shoney's breakfast buffet on Saturday mornings.
Oh my
God!
That was.
Please bring them back.
That was the greatest.
I didn't get those in the 80s, but I got them in the 90s.
Yeah. But I remember, like, my dad was a truck driver, so if he was going long haul and leaving or whatever, we would do something, whatever.
Yeah.
But I remember, there's still a few of them left out there, but to go to the breakfast, I remember you'd sit there and it's like, there's a whole pan full of bacon.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can have as much as I want.
Those French toast sticks.
Oh, God.
That was
Scrambled
my favorite,
eggs,
was the French toast
all that
sticks.
stuff. And like you're a kid, you eat like 2 plates, you think like you're full.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, I've eaten a lot. And then you see people going up multiple times, like, how's that person eating so much? But
And then you do all that, and they had cake and stuff that you could get.
Yeah, they had some. Yeah.
Another funny one that kind of on the same lines as the buffets. I remember we'd go on vacation. My dad would be driving somewhere, and we'd pull into a Western Steer, not to get the buffet. I just want to buy a dessert bar, and they would charge him, and we'd go and have ice cream and toppings and stuff.
Oh, that's
and
great
that's all he would
thing.
do. That's all we would do. And I remember us doing that as a kid. I thought this was cool.
Yeah,
I did that for my kids one time when they were in elementary school. We were camping on a family vacation, and I said, girls, we're not going to have supper tonight. We're going to eat ice cream instead.
You're
and
a
they
great
thought
mom.
that was the greatest thing in the world.
Do you also remember, not that thing, but I do remember when I was a kid and we're going to Myrtle Beach, like there was no Krispy Kreme
Oh,
in
you
our
had to
town.
stop at the
And
Krispy
stop at
Kreme in Charlotte. Yes, on
It's like on that,
Yes.
That to me was like the things like, we didn't have a Krispy Kreme, but like we're going there, you're getting 3 dozen donuts. You're getting whatever.
We always stayed at our friend's house at Oak Island, which Jan and us have stayed at multiple times since then. Now, my best friend Eric, that was their beach house, and Dad would leave work. We'd be leaving on like a Thursday at 5 in the afternoon. It would take like till midnight to get there, but we would stop on Independence at that Krispy Kreme, the only one around, and Dad would get like a dozen glazed and a dozen like filled.
Yep.
And he's like, the greatest thing in the world. When we get to the beach and you put them out there, it's like, everybody be fighting for the filled ones, and then
I'm glad y'all have great childhood beach memories because the one and only time I got to go to the beach as a kid with my family, the only time we went, Mom took all the food with us because there was no buying food out anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So she cooked up and had all this food and took with us. And we get down there, and my dad, we weren't even sleeping in a hotel or anything. We fixed his truck, his Ford truck, put a slat of wood on the back. We were sleeping in the truck on the side of the road. That was our vacation.
Yeah.
The first night we were there, my dad got food poisoning from the turkey that my mom had brought down for us to eat. So
They did not refrigerate.
we stayed one day during the day. Well, she had a cooler. We stayed on the beach that day when we got there. We slept that night for a couple hours, and Dad was sick, and Mom had to drive us home that night back home because Dad was so sick.
So that's the only time you went to the beach as a kid?
As a child.
Have you been to the beach since?
The only other times I got to go, my aunt and uncle took me when I was a teenager, 12, 13, 14. They took me twice with them on family trips.
Did you go to senior week?
Yes.
We need to do a podcast on senior week.
I don't know that one, so yeah, we'll have to.
You went to senior week?
Oh, you mean senior graduation? I was just
Yes.
mean like senior citizen week at Myrtle.
No.
There's biker week and all that stuff. So I
No,
don't know.
senior week when we
Yeah,
graduate.
oh, yeah,
we
yeah.
need to
I've
do a
got some good
podcast on that.
stories.
We need
Yeah.
to do that
I've got
because
some
that
good
was.
stories. I got some
fun.
funny stories on that.
That
one,
was
yeah.
fun.
I got some I can't tell on the thing. But
We
I
can
got
do it
some.
on the
After
Pixel
Dark.
After Dark. We can talk about it
Oh, yeah,
because I've
yeah.
got one After Dark one.
Yeah. Jan, but to be fair to Jan, she made up for it because she spent the 90s and the whole 2000 up to 10s living at the beach at her father-in-law's beach house.
Yeah.
So they spent half the year down there all the time. You know, so
Well, then don't complain.
Oh, I'm
she's
not.
not complaining.
I'm
Yeah.
not. But to go as a kid, mm-mm.
Yeah, like we'd play mini golf. We did all that. I mean, it was
Yeah,
just great because like my mom and dad, my dad was a truck driver. My mom was in furniture. So the July 4th week, we were off. We were the
Yep.
4th of July week every year. We had a timeshare we went to. It was that way. I mean, it was just, that was our family, you know.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. But
And you
that-
talk about that, throwing this last thing in there. I had to bring it up because your Shoney's breakfast bar thing in the mid 80s. Well, it's after I had my driver's license, so it'd been 87 or 88. We had Easter sunrise service at church every year, and the refreshment committee fixed a big breakfast, a church breakfast. And I'd say by 88, me and my best friend Eric and my brother and Eric's sister Deanna and my friend Paul and anybody that was a teenager like us, we would all load up in our cars and we're not eating this church breakfast. We'd drive that morning to Morganton to the Shoney's, and all of us, like 8 of us teenagers, would hit the breakfast bar and just had the greatest time. We did that for probably, our preacher son Brian went with us. There's probably about 7 or 8 of us. We did that for 3 or 4 years in a row. It was the greatest thing ever. And another one I'd love to relive, just one of those.
Yep.
That was the greatest buffet.
Yep.
Yeah,
Shout
so-
out to
There's
Eric.
just
He
something
listens.
about breakfast or breakfast at another time during the day.
Breakfast
Breakfast
food,
for supper.
Yeah.
breakfast food, cereal, whatever, is maybe the greatest foods out there. I mean, it's
Yep.
phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
My daughter Cassie, I told you we still have supper every Sunday evening at my mom's house. My daughter Cassie absolutely loved it. I mean, she loved her family time. But when it's your birthday at my mom's house, you get to pick what meal you want
Mine's
on
always
Sunday.
meatloaf.
Yeah, Greg always picks meatloaf. So my daughter Cassie always picked breakfast for supper.
Yeah.
That was her thing.
Yeah.
And so since she's passed away, I think we fight over who gets to pick breakfast
Yeah.
for supper in her memory.
Don't we have it this week or next week?
Next week we're having it for Janlin's birthday.
Oh, nice.
That's
And
what
then
she
you,
wanted.
You said that you didn't have good memories of, like, there was no eating out at the beach.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we did the same thing because we had a condo that had a kitchen in it. So breakfast and lunch, we ate there.
Mm-hmm.
But one night I got to pick. One night my brother got to pick. One night my dad picked. One night my mom picked. And then we had like one night where we all kind of like went in together and kind of like decided. But
Yeah.
that's how we divvied it up.
See,
So
ours was no eating out. We cooked everything because we stayed at Eric's beach house and we had a kitchen. We cooked everything. But the last night you're there, we always went and ate seafood at a seafood place. That was,
yeah.
you know.
Well, Myrtle was different than Oak Island
Well,
too.
yeah,
So 'cause
yeah.
Myrtle had
Yeah.
like 7,500 restaurants.
Yeah,
or
Right.
Oak
something.
Island had the Sand Fiddler was the name we went to all the time, and it's gone now.
And Russell's.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, this was a good first attempt on a quick bite episode. We'll be back next week with a regular podcast. So that's good. We'll see you then.
Shine on.
Long Duck Dong.
The Pixel People Pod. Steps up inside. Rewind the future fraud. The Pixel People Pod.
Thank you for coming to our podcast.